so exciting, really exciting to see all these people here show up for the Cultural District celebration. We're so happy that you could join us this afternoon, late afternoon. If anyone doesn't know, my name is Dagny Ashley. I'm the Director of Tourism for the City of New Bedford. So welcome, and thank you again for attending our newly designated New Bedford Seaport Cultural District celebration. I do want to say that Anita Waka she is unable to be with us tonight. She tried her best to get here, and she got into some traffic, as that usually happens in Boston, I know firsthand. So she's unable to join us this evening, but we definitely will send her pictures, we'll send her the video, and she missed all the fun here. So we have a vibrant cultural district. Do you agree? Yes. I thought that. We have so much to offer, from museums, galleries, tons of events and festivals. Trust me, I know. Parades, businesses, restaurants, retail, and nonprofits that support the district goals and our vision. I think I speak for everyone when I say that the designation from MCC has been long time coming. And there are so many folks in this city that have been working tirelessly to promote tourism within the district and the city. It truly takes a village. And we all should be very proud of the work that's been done, including our new cultural district. So now I'd like to introduce Mayor Jon Mitchell to talk about our newly designated district.
Thank you, everybody. I think I'm the only one here without a drink in my hand, so I feel really left out. I can't do that with cable TV running. This is a day long in coming, as Dagny said, and it took the work of lots of people to get us to this point. So there are many to thank. I want to thank Anita Walker in absentia. She has been from the first day she got on the job very bullish on New Bedford for obvious reasons, right? We have, these are our strengths. We've got this fascinating story. We've got this eminently walkable downtown. We have an arts culture here that hasn't been superimposed on the place. It's not, we have arts here that is here not because we decided as policymakers that it would be a good thing to incite economic development, but it's there because it's been there for 150 years. This has always been an extraordinarily artistic community. When I get out of New Bedford, I like to cite the fact that New Bedford, according to none other than Richard Florida at Atlantic Monthly, has the 7th highest per capita number of artists of any city in the United States, which is remarkable. 2010, look it up in case anybody doubts it. I know nobody in this room doubts that. But it runs counter to, it's a fact that runs counter to the stigma that we often face as a city. And as we continue to rebrand the place, it's important to emphasize just how artistic we are, and not just in painting, but every medium, performing arts. And I see so many people who are involved in different types of performing arts here. So the theater groups, the Zeiterion, your theater. It's sculpture, it is outdoor public art, and the list goes on, and I won't include everybody, but it's multifaceted. I think that's the point. So for Anita and for Mass Cultural Council, the decision to designate us as a cultural district was probably the easiest one they've ever faced. And if she were here, I would put her on the spot and ask her that. And yet, tonight it probably is worth noting too that she demonstrates for us yet another reason to live in New Bedford and not Boston, and that's traffic. We don't have any. And she's sitting in it right now. But I know her intentions were there to come down here and support us, and we really want to thank MCC. And it's important, by the way, to keep MCC funded. They seem to be on the state budget chopping block every year, and this year is no exception. So we need to tell our state delegation, which is very supportive of the arts, Mark Montigny, Tony Cabral, everybody else, what they already know, and that is that the MCC needs to continue to be funded. But those guys I know will come through with that support. So there are lots of people to thank. Let me start with the folks on the city side. That's Dagny, that's Jerry Linden and Christina Connolly, many others, but those three in particular did a lot of heavy lifting. So I just ask all of you for a big round of applause for all three of them, for all their hard work right from the start. Mike Metzler, fantastic job. Great, really displayed the terrific leadership that made Mike so successful in the healthcare business and so successful as a mentor to so many in the region through Leadership South Coast. He stepped in when we needed him to step in, and he has shepherded this whole process along. So, Mike, this day is long in coming, and we really appreciate all the leadership that you provided us. Thank you. Thank you very much. There were many others. The committee's here. The committee worked really hard. The committee really gave it a lot of thought. I want to thank the chairs, Adrian Teal and Mark Hess, both for their really hard work along the way. Everybody had opinions along the way, and thankfully most people were not shy about voicing them because that's what we want. We're not a bunch of wilting violets. We really want people to weigh in and share what they believe our future should be, because as we've said it so many times before, and we've heard it even more. New Bedford has great potential, and when you say, well, ask people, well, what do you mean by that? Well, where do people usually point? They usually point to all the historic buildings. They point to the art scene. They point to the downtown. They point to the waterfront, and all these things in combination. Well, what we're doing right now all together is activating that potential, or realizing that potential, and activating our strengths. And one of our strengths is the art scene. And to make the most of it, we need all these voices weighing in. We need people at the end of the day, despite their differences, to work together toward common goals. We don't have to agree on everything, but what we do have to agree on is that we've got to work hard to improve the art scene, because so much will come with that. It is true that where arts flourish, businesses invest, and where businesses invest, jobs are created. When jobs are created, community quality of life increases. It's not rocket science, but it does require hard work. It does require good leadership that we've gotten, but most of all, it requires a willingness to get together and roll up our sleeves. So I just want to thank all of you. I know I just want to acknowledge City Councilor Steve Martins for being here today, another big supporter of the district, supported at the City Council. Our city councilors were very supportive. It didn't bat an eye when the district came before them for approval, and we're in full support of it. So I want to thank Steve and the rest of the City Council for that as well. The other thing is, let me just add one last thought, and that's this. So when I first learned about the Cultural District legislation, I thought, well, there's no money that comes with it. And, I spend a lot of my time, we spend a lot of our time in my administration, frankly, foraging for money. We live in an era of diminished resources, and so, we really try to work the relationships we have at the state level and the federal level to see if we can get money coming our way, and as well as money from foundations and wherever else we can get it. So when you think, well, this is a designation that doesn't come with money, you wonder, well, does it really make sense to spend a lot of energy on it? And as we reflected on it, it does make a lot of sense, because again, it's really a mechanism to bring people together, and once you bring people together around a common cause, the money will follow. The money will follow, whether it's from the city or the state or the federal government or foundations or anywhere else, from private philanthropists. It'll come. So the idea right now for all of us is to remain committed to this cause. Good things will follow. We're already seeing and we're already seeing a lot of progress in the downtown. The partnerships are key. City government is, through money coming from a number of different places, is investing in infrastructure here. And we're just finishing up a couple of things that you've probably noticed already, all the cobblestone work and the brickwork on the lower block of Union Street, which is going to look fantastic and be a great place for outdoor art, public art, and a lot of other great things. Great place for people to come together. Custom House Square, obviously, last fall, big progress there. I mean, I think what heartens me most, and I mentioned this last night at Wales event, was that a week after we finished Custom House Square, people were taking wedding photos there, and that says a lot about the appeal of the place. We want more of that here. We're going to continue to push that, and I look forward to working with all of you to really realize our great potential here that we know we all have. Thanks a lot, everybody.
So So there are many people to thank, and please forgive me if I forget anyone, because I tend to do that often. Jerry will attest to that. In no particular order, with the exception of the mayor, because he's my boss. Thank you, Mayor Mitchell, for your support and leadership. We definitely couldn't have made it through this process without your support, so we thank you dearly. We also want to thank the City Council for their unanimous approval on the Cultural District, and thank you, Councilor Martins. Thank Christina Connolly, Angela Johnston, Derek Santos, and Jerry, who's been my right hand for the last 5 months. I truly, truly appreciate you. Yep, sure. And working with MCC was definitely a pleasure. Anita, Mary, and Annie, their team was outstanding. I think they walked us through every process, and they were instrumental in achieving the designation. So we thank them dearly for their support. And I also want to call off our newly designated executive committee appointed by the mayor. So once I call your name, just hold the applause, and you could just raise your hand. We have Adrian Teo, co-chair, UMass School of Visual and Performing Arts. Mark Hess, co-chair, Hall-Keene Management. Lee Heald with AHA. I know she told us she couldn't make it this evening. Jeremiah Hernandez, Ugly Gallery. I know I saw him. Lee Blake, New Bedford Historical Society. Lara Harrington, Boutique Fitness. Rosemary Gill, Zeitarian. Diane Arsenal, Downtown New Bedford Inc. Terry Walkowitz from New Bedford Symphony. Janice McDonough from Kroll's Fine Arts and Framing. It's a really big list. Craig Ribeiro from Poor Farm Tavern. Marianne Rogers, President of the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee. Terry Bernert, from Executive Director from Whale. Myself as ex officio, Christina Connolly, Mayor's Office, Angela Johnston with New Bedford Economic Development Council, and Dennis Lawrence, City Councilor ex officio. So give yourself all a round of applause. Thank you for taking on that task. So, lost my place. Okay. So last, but certainly, definitely not least, Mike Metzler. Mike will forever be on speed dial. Mike is a retired CEO of St. Anne's Hospital, and he is also the Director of Leadership South Coast. He was also a volunteer as part of the Economic Development Council's fellowship program of retired executives. How's that going? Mike's project was to meet with stakeholders in the downtown and recommend projects for improvement and changes. Mike then brought all of his suggestions to the mayor. Thank you, Mike, for doing that. And he was charged with overseeing several of the projects, such as trash collection, banners, parking, cultural district application, all those things going well, Mike? We thank you, Mike, dearly for leaving retirement and joining the workforce again. We couldn't have done it without you. Your commitment and dedication are to be commended, and it has been truly a pleasure working with you on the Cultural District Initiative, and now the newly designated New Bedford Seaport Cultural District. So we thank you, and we like to give you the first and only official Cultural District t-shirt as a gift of our appreciation. So it's kind of a joke, so I'll let Mike hold it up. You have to read it.
Dartmouth is my town. New Bedford is my city.
I think I like that tagline, so we might trademark it. You want to say anything, Mike? Come closer over here.
Well, thanks. It's just great to just look out and see all of you tonight, and it really just makes it all worthwhile that we're here tonight, and this was so successful. Thank you for letting me be part of you. You know, I guess I'm living vicariously through my artist friends, so I really do appreciate that. I learned a lot during the whole process. I learned about the history of New Bedford, which I knew some, but it's just incredible. I was just blown away with not only the history, but the amount of art and culture that exists within the city. And I made a lot of new friends. I really love that more than anything else. We had some hurdles along the way, but we got over every single one of them. And as I've said, as we went through the process, that getting the designation is just the beginning. That the real power of this is not the designation itself. Actually, New Bedford probably, compared to other cities and towns that have gotten designations, almost needed the designation the least. That we, in fact, people know us for all of what the designation, already know us for what the designation brings. But what the designation brings is a whole process where we come together collaboratively and we set goals, we do planning, and we execute together. So the real test of the success will be the future when all of you are involved in all the things that the executive committee has put together as goals. So good luck with all that. I hate consultants. In my retirement, I'm considered to be a consultant. I never liked consultants, so I don't even like the word. So what I didn't like about consultants is that they do a project and then they leave and then, don't care sometimes about what happens afterwards. Well, because New Bedford is my city, I really care, so I'll be watching. Good luck.
Thank you, Mike. So now, the moment you all been waiting for, the world premiere. I say world premiere. It's the world premiere of the New Bedford Seaport Cultural District video, which I know you're going to fall in love with this video. You want to come up then and...
So we're just going to show the video and then I'm going to talk.
I walk the beaches on Saturday morning and look around. It's a beautiful scene with so many people late to tan and brown. I'll find a restaurant with some fresh seafood and lounge, where I can still see the boats in the ocean trolling back to town. Can't help but fall in love sometimes, just being in New Bedford. I can't help but fall in love sometimes, being in New Bedford. It's so real on a hot night in the art and music scene. There's so much right, I'm falling in love with everything I see. I'll step out on the cobblestones to the next art gallery. Outside I pass by the statues of those who shaped our history. Can't help but fall in love sometimes, being in New Bedford. I can't help but fall in love sometimes, being in New Bedford. Can't help myself sometimes, just being in New Bedford. I can't help but fall in love sometimes, being in New Bedford. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, are you in love yet? Pretty soon, tomorrow, you'll be able to share the love because we're going to post this on YouTube and Facebook. So please make sure to promote this with everyone you know so that they can also fall in love with New Bedford. I'd like to introduce myself, and I also have a very great task today to introduce Ben Gilbert, who is really responsible for this wonderful video. But before I introduce him, I'd like to say my name is Jerry Linden. I am the Cultural Tourism and Marketing Manager at the city, and I want to thank Dagny for being such a wonderful boss and also being so incredibly proactive. And also, we have a new intern with us, and today is her first day. What a wonderful day it is. Crystal, thank you so much for being here. Well, I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to be here in Seafire Grill. Thank you so much, guys, for hosting us. And here in Massachusetts, where they do have really amazing support for the arts. And here in New Bedford, that has a great ambition and great potential. And here, now in the Seaport Cultural District. Ben Gilbart, he is not only the owner of Visionary Communications, he is also himself a visionary. And he was so instrumental to putting all of the pieces of this video together. I'd like to welcome Ben. Ben is not only a director or producer, but he's also very supportive of the community. You might have known him from work that he did at the National Park Service with the YAP videos, the Youth Ambassador Program. Please welcome Ben.
That was a great introduction. So when I first sat down with Dagny to talk about this project, she said, we're trying to kind of reach all audiences. We want to reach older people, we want to reach hip young people, and so, that's a tough task. As you know, in this day and age, it's hard to reach a bunch of different audiences. And we wanted something feel good to appeal to that broad range. So I started racking my brain and thinking, okay, it needs to start with the sound or the vibe, or what's this thing going to be like? And then Cedric came to my head. And Cedric Josie is someone who I've been seeing perform for years in this community. And, my wife Missy is a big fan of his, going way back, probably like 10 years. And he came to my head because he has that feel-good style that can, resonate with people, anybody in this room, I feel like. So were you guys feeling that video? You like the video? Make some noise if you did. Okay. So we have Zane here, who's 13, all the way up to, the older people in the room. I won't call you guys out. But. So that's a pretty good cross-section, a pretty good focus group to really gauge and test how effective this video will be. And, going back to Cedric, I just want to say, totally professional in the process. We met, I said, this is what we're looking to communicate, this is how we're looking to communicate it, and he just nailed it, as you can see, and it's a hit, and pretty much this video, the video maker is all about the audio first. It starts with the audio. So my job was made a hell of a lot easier when I heard that track, and I was like, yes, let's do it. And remember in the recording studio, Dagny came along and she was dancing. And I'm like, maybe we should do a dance scene. And that's what prompted us to set up a live scene here at Seafire. Thank you, Seafire, for hosting us and having us clog up your Thursday night in March. And we did it, and all the energy around this project's been very electric. Obviously I don't have to tell you guys, but I think what we tried to do is show the many parts of New Bedford, the many appealing aspects of it, and kind of show a bunch of them, almost like to just give you an assorted flavor of the city. And so, obviously the culture, we wanted to show a lot of cultural and show this is a very cultural place. The relaxing elements, the fishing, the boating, etc. The good food. You can attest to that. Family-friendly activities such as a whaling museum, and that was actually my son in his debut at the Whaling Museum, and Dagny's granddaughter, if you don't mind me putting that out there. And the history, of course, we wanted to show the historical significance of this place. And overall, this is just a world-class destination. So we wanted to make somewhere you want to visit. Dagny said when people want to visit places, they want to know where to eat, where to go to have activities, where they can look at what, so we wanted to try to stay true to that. we did have some limitations. This was aimed to kind of attract people in the summer, so it was supposed to look like the summer. So a lot of the shots I wanted to get, I couldn't even get because some of the trees were very scraggly and barren. And also some of the locations, whether storefronts, had some of those trees in front. So, we wanted to feature more, and we will. This is like episode 1 of, I think, more to come. And I want to thank Cedric, first of all, for just, again, nailing it. Shelly and Adam and Zach also, who was pictured, and Ramsey, who filled in today. And also some of the extras and stars of the video that were actually here. Tasha's here, right in the front. And Sean is the other extra that came today. But just really coming out and supporting this project. And again, share it. Share the love. Share the love. Share it, okay? Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ben. So, now we're going to hear a live performance of that song, and we're going to keep playing it until you go home singing it in the car. And then we're going to play the video again until you call my office tomorrow and say, send me that video. So thank you. I fell in love with that song from the moment I heard it, fell in love with the video, and thank you for putting all that together, because I know I called you all the time with crazy thoughts. And I was like, Ben, I don't know how to put this into words, but this is what I want. And he was like, okay, we'll meet. So thank you for putting all our visions into an amazing video, and definitely more. We're thinking of doing much more videos. Thank you, Antonio, the chef, for clogging up your 2 Thursdays in a row, especially now that it's springtime. And relax, enjoy, network, and watch the video and hear a live performance. Thank you.
Find a rest of what was fresh seafood found. I can still see the boats and